Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Currie Cup fixture, match day 8, pitting from South Africa. The Leopards going up against the Kenya Simbas. This is a battle of the cuts. All set on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Leopards team awaiting the arrival of the Kenya Simbas team. And from your screens on your right, you can see the center referee, and then followed right behind the Kenya Simbas, led by Daniel Sikuta, captain of the team. The fans are appreciating. It's a very solid day in rugby. And I can hear that the production team, they've decided that the Undertaker takes lead with this very simple, good fixture. The chairman of the Kenya Rugby Union leads possession to welcome the team, Odur Gangla.
Former chairman, RFA, and finally Frederick Bassi from KCB, making the way for the pre-match handshake. We get ready for
the Currie Cup first division started off earlier in April. This is a fixture which Kenya Simbas got an invite to participate in. For this fixture, the Simbas have played 7 games with only 1 win against the Border Bulldogs, who stand 9th. Who stand 10th in the log. The team fixture for the Leopards, you have Ruben Duplessis, Robert Lebrand, John Com, Marvelous Mashumbi, Vincent Maruping, Gustave Lang, Bryson Tenta, H.P. Stewart, Shawin Cupido, Martin Venter, Kwan Iman, Vuyo Mboto, Andreas Struter, Poina Van de Kach, and Duran Hoffman. And that's the home team getting its introduction.
Davis Chenge, George Nyambua, Daniel Sikuta, Betwell Anami, Samuel Asati, Dominic Kuto, William Ogeta, John Okor, Vincent Onyala, Derek Ashiundu, and Gawi Mukita. Turning out on the bench for the Kenya Simbas is Eugene Sifuna, Andrew Siminyu, Joseph Odero, Thomas Okeo.
If you're joining us and maybe you didn't hear the stadium announcer announce the players who are representing the Kenya Simbas, we have Edward Mora, Teddy Akala, Ephraim Odur, Emmanuel Silungi, Davis Chenge, George Nyambua, Daniel Sikuta, Bethwell Anami, Samuel Asati, Dominic Colson, Belda Dogeto, John Okoth, Vincent Onyala, Derek Eshundu, and last but not least, at the fullback position, we have the smiling assassin, Darwin Mokitsa. The Kenya Simbas are captained by the one and only Daniel Sikuta of Kabras Rugby Football Club.
Finish off the RC4 for this match is Vincent Mwiguri, reserve Innocent Kimati, David Etich, Minas Kinudia, Faith Mlongo, and Collins Nabiso.
I'll be doing the commentary for this mixture. My name is Willie Wex, and on analysis we have the one and only Elijah Toili. Kickoff of this fixture will be coming from right to left. Leopards having the privilege with Martin Venter. The center referee for this fixture is Paul Mente from South Africa, assisted by Kenya's Victor Duor and Constant Cup. A rare fixture. This is the first time a CURRIE Cup First Division fixture is being played outside of South Africa. This one pitting the Leopards, who stand 7th on the log, against the Kenya Simbas, who stand 9th on the log, right above the Border Bulldogs. The Leopards have not, being the defending champions of the First Division, have not been successful this time round, with 3 wins and 4 losses. Kenya Simbas on the other hand, and there is a kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Well collected by Emmanuel Silungi. Less than 5 minutes into this fixture, looking at composure from all sides. Very good ball carry by the Leopards, and going all the way slightly off the 10. Now is the time where, whoa, it's a big collection. Good collection right there. Good collection. No support. Teddy Akala with a very good collection. Good ball carry, Samuel Asati. Very good stop, Asati right there. George Nyambua from Kabras Rugby Football Club, Kakamega. Infringement, Dominic Colston not able to hold on to the ball. It's an infringement, it's a knock on. So it's a scrum down inside the Leopards 22. Elijah, game having gone less than 5 minutes, pressure from both sides. Leopards had gone in deep, but then Kenya were able to counter. There was a good tackle there where Kenya were able to recover a ball from the Leopards, and a good run there by Teddy Akala. What do you have to say going into this fixture?
It's a good warning shot from Simbas. I think they have shown that they are quite adept at countering and turning over balls in the racks, but also Leopards showing us that they are keen to attack even from their own 22, and that sets up well for this game. And right there we see a penalty that has been taken quickly by Asati, but the referee calls it back to mark. So it's gonna be a good day. Looks very well set for the day. The underfoot is quite dry enough, and Simba's electing to go for 3 points early enough, which is a good thing.
I was just about to ask you, Elijah, on what will be your option? Do you go for kick out, for a line out, or do you go for points? And having Paul Dera's team, having the one and only Darwin Mokitsa in the ranks, it will be only prudent they go for points. Elijah, both teams, for the Leopards, they're looking for a way into making into the playoffs, how well they can secure themselves into the top 4. They have 2 remaining fixtures. They're looking for a win in the 2 remaining fixtures. Kenya Simbas, this is for the Rugby Afrique qualifiers. Going into this one, as eyes are set into Darwin Mokitsa to give Kenya Simbas rolling 3 points, and it's successful. It's successful. Elijah, going into the next play, what do you expect from the Leopards? What do you expect from Simbas?
Leopards will look to strike back, which is normally what happens immediately after conceding points. They'll come back with all their guns blazing, and it will be up to Simba to ensure that first of all they retain this kickoff, ensure that it is a clean exit from their half, and also look to play in Leopards territory. Ball raised quite high there, right outside Simbas 22, received quite well by Bethel Anami, and there's a rack that has been set there, looks quite steady. Asati with a high ball into Leopards 22. It's been received by Hoffman and given to Venter, who is electing to look for the 50-22 kick. And let's wait see if they... No, it wasn't successful, but that is a good kick, putting them right back into Simba's territory.
Martin Venter being very tactical with that kick. He was aiming for the 50-22 rule, a bounce just before the ball goes out of touch. It wasn't successful, but it was right off the 22. So Kenya have a line out. For those joining us, this is the first fixture of the CURRIE Cup First Division being played outside of South Africa. Daniel Sikuta with a very good offload, and George Nyambua right there. It's an infringement right there by the Leopards, and the Simbas get to kick out into safety. And Dominic Colson with the hold of the ball. I'm sure as a professional he's already gone off the infringement in which he had a knock on. Toili, this fixture for the Kenya Simbas going into the Rugby Afrique qualifiers. What's your take on the last 8 weeks that they've been in South Africa for the Kenya CURRIE Cup, for the CURRIE Cup fixture?
It's been a steep learning curve, but very well welcomed. I mean, we can only gain from playing in the CURRIE Cup, and therefore we look to see. The coach has been quite confident that we've learned a lot in preparation for the playoffs that will take us into the knockouts for qualifiers for the World Cup. Now attacking here right on the right-hand side of the pitch, Darren Mukiza with a good carry into the right on the 40-meter line. Asati digging for the ball, and there's a strong carry. Yes, there's also support on that rack. Quick ball, they should play on the quick ball. They have numbers outside. If they can see to the left, the ball should go out wide, which it has. A good carry. He has a man out, but loses the ball in contact. Belda Dogeto with a man outside. He could have actually used that. Will you expect?
It'll have been way easier offloading that ball, but like, hey, as we say, the commentator is right, just up the stands enjoying the game. What is happening on that rugby pitch is a very different ball game. So with an infringement, we're going back into the second scrum of this fixture. It's from the last scrum, the Leopards were able to overpower the Simbas team. The forwards of the Leopards seem to have really been very good in the buffet ranks. They've been ensuring they're not skipping any meals and not skipping leg days in the gym. So ball is being held by Shuwin Cupido. Ball is placed in. Simbas are able to hold. That was very good carry. Infringement right again. Holding the ball on the ground. Daniel Sikuta leading from the front as the captain. One and only Elijah, I'll ask you again. Right outside the 22, what should the Simbas do?
They have a good kicker in Darwin Mukiza. They should elect for the points, which they have. And Kenya Simbas playing in the right areas, applying pressure on Leopards, conceding penalties, kickable penalties, and what the Kenya Simbas are doing is putting and applying scoreboard pressure and letting the Leopards won't understand as the scoreboard continues ticking, and that's what needs to continue happening for the Simbas. Build the gap slowly. Once they get out to a more than 7 match point, and then they can start now playing in the right areas using their structures. Good kick by Darwin. Height is okay. Accuracy is okay. Kenya Simbas stretch their lead to 6-0. 6-0 to Kenya Simbas. Good start for Kenya Simbas, even this early in the game, as we look to Leopards trying to settle down. The battle should be in the forwards, and so far we've seen Kenya Simba forwards doing their thing, being able to handle anything thrown at them by the Leopards, looking at those turnovers that were done by the forwards. So Kenyan forwards up to the game at this moment. Ball received good at the kickoff by Bethel Anami. Strong carry just outside their 22. They should look to put the ball to boot. Asati does the same in the middle of the pitch, but goes to Duren Hoffman, who receives and steps in, but is tackled well. And there is a rack set up there. The ball is out by Shewin. Good carry, but the ball is loose, and it looks floating forward, but the ref says play on. It's at the wing, and the rack is being contested, but it has been secured properly. Leopards going through the faces here, looking at a strong carry, and they're still playing. Good hands shown there by the forwards. Now it's options, but he's running into men, and he has to take it down. That's Robbie, puts it down. Shawin also with another ball out to the midfield. They're able to protect their racks, which is a good thing. They were losing them initially. Ball out to the left, they're attacking, stepping in by Van Nichak. Then Shawin throws the ball out wide, and then the ball is up to the middle of the pitch. That's an extra roll, but hands in the rack by the Kenyan defenders, and the ref penalizes Simbas in that first play.
Very good, Elijah, getting us through this fixture for the next. And yeah, as expected, the Leopards are electing to go for points, and I'm looking at Duran Hoffman collecting the tee. Duran Hoffman collecting the tee.
The second fixture of the 2022 CURRIE Cup Nairobi chapter. We're happening right here at the Alfred grounds. The Kenya Simbas will be taking on the EP.
This is a battle of the cuts. Just joining us into this fixture, we are looking at how well the Simbas can contain the Leopards. The battle of the cuts. We know how fast the Leopard is, but we also know how ferocious. The kick was unsuccessful, so we'll start. So we go to the 22. Elijah, Duran Hoffman adopted to go for points, but wasn't successful. But they're still within, the game is being played from the 22. Elijah.
Yeah, that gives away the mental state of the Leopards at this point. That was an ambitious kick, and you can see they're starting to feel the scoreboard pressure. It was a tad too long, and that's why it was missed. But a good restart from the 22 by Colson. Ball well received by Leopards. Look to set up again. The defense is set up waiting for them. It's a rush defense, but a missed tackle. But he steps in, but Hoffman has been tackled. And then Shawin with the ball out. Strong carry, good carry, almost 10 meters gained there. Ball is out to the right, but he loses it in contact. There was a rip-off from the Kenyan defense, and it's a counter by Sikuta. He gives it to Asati, who carries it at the same spot. The ref might look to play the advantage of the knock-on. Yes, he should be able, and is actually called for a penalty. It's a more serious offense. There was a rip-off from the rack. There were hands in the rack, and you're not allowed to contest and rip the ball from the rack once it has been set, and that costs Leopards another penalty. They are feeling the pressure. They are feeling the pressure, really.
Less than 15 minutes are played in this fixture. It's still an early game. The Leopards just need to settle in to get their composure. Dominic Colson kicks, but he's not able to kick for touch. Quite unfortunate. He's trying to kick deep. Very good carry. the infringement. Referee was definitely going to call for that one. The one and only Emmanuel Silungi, who plies his trade in Israel, is not able to come out of after tackling the one and only Martin Venter, the kicking duties. He's able to kick very well. Sikuta trying to indicate to Victor Duer and where the ball came out from. It's as if Martin Oduor is not there. Don't forget the first center referee is Paul Mente, assisted by Constant Cap from Kenya and Victor Oduor. Line out for the Leopards, right inside the Simbas, right inside the Simbas half. They decided to go for a maul. Simbas were prepared for this one. Simbas are really trying to hold, not to allow them to go into the 22. There's been a... Oh! Individual prowess right there going into the try. Bavane kick and getting onto the scoreboard of the Leopards. Getting the first try of this fixture.
Right time.
As it stands,
Leopards.
the Kenya Simbas 6, Leopards 5, with a conversion to come. The conversion to come. Leopards getting their composure and setting themselves up well and being able to gain some yardage, being able to go and get the 5 points. As it stands, Duran Hoffman looking to enable the Leopards get the lead. For those who are not familiar with the CURRIE Cup First Division, the log is made up of 10 teams. Leading is the Griffons, and the Leopards, who are playing the Simbas today, are 7th on the log with 3 wins and 4 losses. The Simbas only have 1 win against the Border Bulldogs. And there you have it. Duran Hoffman makes a successful conversion, enabling the Leopards to take a lead. Leopards 7, Simbas 6. Elijah, what takes in this fixture?
Good strike rate, good efficiency by Leopards. 1 visit into the 22 and scoring. And it was a lone ranger try. You know, he was away from his support and he managed to score, beating around 4 defenders. That is a wake-up call to Simbas to ensure that they put their structures, the defensive structures well. They cannot afford such mistakes going into the game. Otherwise, they'll be ripped open. As we see here, the rack has been set up. A good, strong carry by Leopards getting outside their 22. They should look for a proper exit here by Martin Venter, but it hasn't gone out. It didn't bounce and go out. It's been received by Colson. Colson now stretches to the left. Darwin Mkiza with the ball out to Belda Dogeto. He goes into rack. It's a slow rack, but Asati has reached there. Out with Colson. Nice. Good rush defense makes it harder for him to pass out the ball, limits his options. But Darwin takes over at number 9, gives out the ball to his forwards, who are now, you know, angling there. Looks like a turnover, might be a turnover, but the rack has been secured. Numbers out to the left. Darwin plays it out, and their numbers is an overlap here. There are enough men, but they opt to go in. Rack is well secured. Short ball to Chenge, who goes in, and there is a man out, but Asati looks behind and he sees the gap is there in the 22. Not well covered. The ball bounces, but Venter recovers it, puts in a grabber. Oh, what a loss for Teddy. He had the ball, but it was a knock-on, and it is recovered by Leopards, who now attack out to the right. They have numbers, they have the space, and they have the men. It looks very dangerous. It looks ominous for Simba, but the ball has been knocked on. The ball has been knocked on, saving and sparing Simba's concession of points there. Very lucky for Kenya Simbas.
I can sense a sigh of relief across this Stadium. This is the Rugby Football Union of East Africa grounds, hosting the first ever CURRIE Cup First Division fixture outside of South Africa, pitting the Kenya Simbas against the Leopards. That was a very tense moment, Elijah, as the Leopards were nearly able to go and get another try. Some composure is needed for the Simbas, or what's your take?
Very well said, Willie. And though we are renowned for athleticism, being fast, but Leopards are not a slack either. You can see what they do with the ball. Their back line is quite sharp, very accurate, very composed with ball in hand, looking and weighing at their options, and they are causing us moments of unease, a lot of tension whenever they carry the ball by their backs. I think in the forwards we've managed to neutralize. It's really a boxer's match in the forwards. They're able to cancel each other out. There is no outstanding superiority when it comes to the scrums and to the lineouts. For the few that we have seen, the forwards have been able to get their ball and secure their scrum downs. As we look at this scrum down that is being set here in favor of Simbas.
Samuel Asati holding onto the ball. We've played almost 20 minutes of this fixture. Let's see how the Simba forwards. It's not a stable scrum as noted by Paul Mente. The retake of the scrum. I'm not sure Elijah will be telling us how many scrums we've had in this fixture, but from where I'm seated, my view, I believe, are one of the best views in this house. I'm guessing the Simbas need to offload the ball more, not go into contact where it's unnecessary. Elijah, what's your take on that?
Yeah, there's a space and place for that, even as we look at the retake. Simba with a strong scrum, solid scrum that allows Asati to come out with it. Carries strong carry right there. Oh. And he crashes to the defense bell Ogeto. And there's a good platform here. There are numbers out. Chenge with another carry. Referee plays an advantage for offside. Colson with numbers on the right. Swings out to Darwin. Darwin steps in, steps out. He has support. He has support on his outside. Damis goes through. The try line is beckoning. Darwin goes over. He goes over. What a try. What a try. What a try.
Individual prowess, ladies and gentlemen, by the one smiling assassin, Darwin Mukitsa from KCB Rugby, as I believe is one of the most capped Simbas in this team, Elijah. That was some good individual brilliance, Elijah.
Yes, it was. Darwin, always very deceptive. He has sufficient pace to play at the wing, but he is a very deceptive runner. He runs in strides and you think he's not moving, but as you chase him, you realize that he's galloping and eating up the ground. And that was just a showpiece of what he can be able to produce. He ran all the way from his own half, and the runners, the supporters, gave him enough option that he was able to carry the ball in two hands. Dummy here kept the defense guessing, kept the defense worried because he could have easily passed, but he elected to use that and dummied and went, bounced off one tackler, and had sufficient pace to do the last 25 meters. What a good run, what a good play. And the numbers were there. The numbers were there for Kenya Simbas to attack to the right. Even as we see him try to convert his own try to push the score forward. A good game so far, a good game so far. Studies the post, does his calculations, and the ball sails right through the uprights, right through the center. Good dissection by Darwin. Simbas going ahead, stretching their lead again. Leopards 7. And Simbas 13. Leopards 7, Simbas 13. Remember, Leopards are the defending champions from last year's Division 1 CURRIE Cup. So it's a good showing by Simbas, even here at home. Remember, the Kenya coach had said he will field his strongest side today, even as he has only one more match before he goes into the qualifiers for the Rugby World Cup. So this is one of the best lineups that we'll see, even as we proceed with the game. Short kickoff was more of a grabber, but Simbas were able to respond well, and that was a knock-on arising from that kick by Asati. I think what happened with Duran Hoffman is that he just relaxed a tad a bit and he thought he was in control, but the spin of the ball and the decisions that he was already processing in his mind, he lost the flight of the ball and knocked it on. Simbas having a good territory here.
Thank you very much, Elijah Toili. Elijah, who plied his trade with KCB Rugby, giving us the much-needed analytics into this fixture. For those who are joining us, you ought to note that this is the second half of the first half, the last 20 minutes of the first half. Samuel Asati plies his trade for KCB Rugby, holds onto the ball as his opposite number, Shiwin Cupido. Ball is in, and it's out. Colson able to release with wide. Very good run by Ashundu. Try time Kenya! Ashundu Derrick with some form of individual brilliance. Ladies and gentlemen, the crowd is going wild. Derrick Ashundu has done the unthinkable to the Leopards. He was able to pass one defender and decided to continue with the movement, and right when I thought he was going to offload, he continues. Did the same trick with what Darwin Mukitsa had done. Elijah Toili, how good was that?
Simbas settling in and getting comfortable, able to play with the ball in their hands, carrying the ball right to the defense line and keeping the defenders guessing, because the attackers were out wide and also at the back towards the inside of the scrum half. That gave options and also kept the defenders guessing. Ashundu didn't need more invitation, took the gap and was able to run 40 meters, bouncing off one tackle and scoring. Good face of play, confidence, a confident play by Kenya, even as Darwin slots in the extra 2 points. Kenya moving forward to 18 points and Leopards 7. Yes, stretching it to 20 with the extra 2 points and Leopards 7. What a good show by Simbas as we look even to what Leopard can do in response. They are looking to be under the pump right here.
Martin Venter with the ball, holding on to the ball. Going into this part, I'm expecting the Leopards to respond, not expecting them to just sit and take it without responding. Simbas are able to collect. The one and only Bethuel Anamik, a very good collection, and he's been very critical with all those resets. HP SWAT looking at doing the same. This time round, Duran Hoffman having good composure. Very good flow of the ball. No overlap right there. Very good step. Very good by Darwin Mukitsa. No hands in ruck.
Simbas, a big round of applause to each and every one of you.
With slightly 10 minutes to play. Slightly 10 minutes to play. So line out. Looking at how well the Simbas challenge it. And it goes forward. Goes forward. I'm seeing an altercation right there between Gustav Erlach and his compatriot there. So it's a scrum down for Kenya right at the halfway point. Paul Mante, center referee, showcasing on where the ball is to be placed. Good fixture, good turnout here in Nairobi. people are happy to watch the Simbas. It's been a minute, Elijah, since we watched the Simbas play.
Yes, it's the first international game that we're having since we resumed from COVID. And the turnout is quite impressive. People have missed the 15th version of the international rugby playing right here at Nairobi. And it's a good turnout, even as that scrum down was shaky, but they have been able to recover with a good carry by Bethwell. Sati takes the ball out from the rack, gives it to Teddy, who carries it strong into another rack. Colson now with the ball, looking at the numbers out, strong carry right there into the heart of the midfield, and with a quick rack ball out to Onyala, who knocks it on, and suddenly from attacking point there is a quick chase. Is it a try? Yes, it is a try. Mistake by Kenya helps Kwan Ayman to pounce on the loose ball, kicking it all the way into the try area and beating our men to pace and being able to ground the ball. Out of nowhere, Leopards strike back by a mistake from Kenya Simbas. The play there was quite slow. It was close to the defense line, and Onyala, knowing who he is, he was looking to step back in before he even received the ball, and that caused him to lose eyes on the ball. And when the ball went down, there was no fullback because he had attacked he had joined in the attack. That is a sucker blow. It's real a blow in the guts of Kenyans, and they have to recover from it.
You can see that the crowd has gone silent. The one and only Kwan Ayman has been able to silence the crowd, and conversion is successful. Duran Hoffman ensures that it's just a 6-point game. This was a fixture that was 13 points away. And now
is successful. Kenya Simbas 20, Leopards 14.
Dominic Colson with the hold of the ball right next to the center referee. We restart. Kicking it deep into the 22, well collected. Asati with a very good collection of it. Playing advantage, referees playing advantage. Nyambua with a very good collection. Gustav Relanka trying to be smart with that one. Referee is very clear on where he's able to view it. Simbas are now playing right inside the Leopards half. Elijah, quite a seesaw fixture going both sides, as you're seeing. Leopards just from scoring, and the Simbas are back right into the halfway, inside the half of Leopards, and looking to pounce on it. Elijah, what do you think?
Simba have enjoyed a good fare of territory. They have played in Leopards half for the longest while. As we see Asati carrying the ball, there is a rack there, good recovery. It's a slow rack. Ball is out by Ashundu. Strong carry in the middle there by Chenge. Again, the ball is available for Asati as he weighs his option. There is a pick and go attempt by Teddy, but the doors are slammed shut right in front of the rack. And then there is another carry by Emmanuel right in the middle there. Ball is out to Colson to the left. There is an overlap there. Good carry by Sikuta as he gets tackles. The ball is available. Good face play from Kenya, even as they set up and they continue going through the faces. Ball is again available to Asati. There's slow, patient build-up by Simbas. And they suddenly have an overlap. Darwin out to Nyambua. Nyambua is able to carry it in, but he offloads. He should have gone, but Colson still, the ball is still in play. Colson carries it strongly, and he grounds it. Colson grounds the ball when everyone thought there was a knock-on or there was a stoppage in play, but he played it, and the ref said the game should continue. Dominic Colson taking advantage of that and grounding the ball for an extra 5 points for Simbas. What a good face of play. It goes to show you play until the whistle is blown. Kenya stretched their lead to 5 points by an extra 5 points, Willie.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic play right there. Nyambua was not sure that he was heading, he was through, and he had to offload it. I was worried for a minute, but he was able to get all the way and to get ball into play. So going into this, Darwin Mokitsa looking to extend the lead. As it stands. It's 25-14. It's an 11-point game, looking to take it back to 13 points. Darwin Mokitsa, who's played international for the Simbas for a very long time. Elijah.
Yeah, he's the current vice captain of the team. He's one of the stalwarts in the team, but his kick sails to the left, doesn't make it to the goal line. So still scores remain at Leopards 14, Simbas 25. Dominic Colson plays his trade at University of Exeter in UK. Found time to be patriotic and come and play for his country. And Kenyans totally appreciate his input in this game. He's been a steady number 10. He's been steady hands, good boots, and is an all-round good player for us at number 10. Willie.
The restart there by Martin Vente, kicks it deep. I'm expecting the collection to be done by miscommunication right there by the Simbas. And now they're already on their back foot. So no advantage for the Leopards, and Paul Mente calls it back to the first infringement by the Simbas. So it's going to be a scrum down right after kickoff, and it was miscommunication to the players who went for the ball. As I told you, I was expecting Bethwell Anami to go for it, but from the look of it, he wasn't alone going for it, and the Leopards were right at the right place to collect. The crowd is Nairobi, capital of the Republic of Kenya, is where this fixture is taking place. They call it the Green City under the sun. Chiwin Cupido, Simbas. Daniel Sikuta, a very complete utility player. Darwin goes for touch. Right close to you can see Victor Duar indicating on where the ball was lost. From where I'm seated, I'm privileged to notice Polodera and his technical team heading out for the halftime debrief. I'm guessing, Elijah, we have less than a minute. There's a Kenyan player, not a Kenyan, there's a Leopards player on the ground, if I'm not wrong. It's Kwan Iman, who's on the ground. With like 2 minutes to play, Elijah, what's your take on the remaining 1 minute, or should all this be prepped for? Should we be prepping for the second half?
Yeah, I think the teams have played quite well. Both teams will look to get into the changing room and evaluate and take stock of what they have done in the first half. From where I sit, Simbas have given a good account of themselves, except for the mistakes that they make, which puts Leopards back into the game. This should have been a clear-cut advantage going into halftime. A good line-out throw by Leopards. They have recovered it, made some 10 meters from the maul, and Simbas should not allow any concession of points here. They should keep the score as it is even into halftime. But Leopards applying a weapon in the mall, which they haven't used the whole game. And it's making progress, slowly, making its way outside the 22, but the ball is out by Cupido, out into the center, into the midfield. Strong carry, but the defense is equal to it. And even as they reset slowly, trying to ensure that they actually get something from this phase of play. But good contest in that rack, made an extra rack. The pressure was there because the defending players had arrived at the rack, and the Leopards player decided to take 1-2 more extra rolls, but the referee was alert to it and penalized him for it. Normally that makes it hard for the defending players who've attacked the rack to contest for the ball, and the ref gives a penalty to Simbas. Colson able to get Simbas on the 40-meter mark into the half of Leopards. What do they do from here? Do they kick the ball out and go to the changing rooms, or do they try and attack?
Elijah, Teddy Akala right there with the line-out duties. Who are they? Not. They've decided to put the player up. Samuel Asati right there. Good collection by Nyambua. Very, very complete utility player for the Cabras Rugby Football Club. Samuel Asati, Dominic Kanyala. If we can be able, Ephraim is able to do some. Darwin Mokitsa going straight into the half. Ball has been taken all the way. Kick has been done there by Dominic. It goes all the way, and it's half time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's half time. The Simbas are 25 and the Leopards 14. Join us after the halftime break for the remainder of this fixture.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of the Kenya Rugby Union, tell you we have a draw to award a lucky winner jersey. Doing the draw, you're only eligible if you came in amongst the first 100 people. The jersey held in the hand by Wayne McKenna. To do the draw, ladies and gentlemen, is former Kenya Sevens International Andrew Amboni. All right, McKenna, let's go. number 58. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a raffle ticket and it has number 58 to meet, you are the lucky winner of this beautiful piece. The Kenya Rugby jersey. Remember, you can get yourself a replica jersey just for 5,000 bob at the village. Number 58. If you have a raffle ticket with number 58 to meet, can you make your way forward to receive your replica jersey? Number 58 going once. Number 58 going twice. Number 58. Going, all right, making his way onto the beach, the lucky winner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, lucky winner is none other than Quarrola Eugene, and receiving his beautiful replica jersey from Andrew Lamonde and Rumbuy McKenna. Congratulations for that beautiful award ceremony. Get yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, a replica jersey, courtesy of the Kenya Rugby. Feel and look the part as the Kenya Simbas get ready for the rugby World Cup qualifiers. A big thank you, Andrew. A big thank you, Rumbuy. DJ.
Welcome back to the second half of this CURRIE Cup Division 1 match day 9 between Simbas from Kenya and Leopards from South Africa. Leopards, being the defending champions, have made their way to Nairobi. We appreciate what South African rugby is doing in preparation of Kenya and improving us as a nation, for them to be able to travel and come and play first CURRIE Cup match in Kenya, in Nairobi. It's a gesture that will go a long way in helping our rugby, even as Colson kicks off the second half of this match. Very good kick right into the 22, but ball recovered and makes his way out of the 22. Ball is out by Shawin Cupido, and elects a very high kick, but it's well recovered by Darwin, just inside the Simbas half. Darwin is tackled at the halfway meter line, and Asati arrives. Ball is out, carried by Edward Moura, but he knocks it on, and Leopards recover it and they're able to attack. Ball with Robbie Leibrandt. Strong carry into Simbas half. Attempt at counter-attacking, but it's unsuccessful. Ball is out now. In their half, Leopards trying to recover, trying to set up well, and they do so. They have numbers now to the left, but the ball is spilled in the tackle, and Asati opts to counter. And a good carry by Ashiundu, by Ogeto. Ogeto makes it all the way. Good support offloads to Onyala. Onyala makes his way, and players from Leopards are looking at the referee to see, and Onyala grounds it. The game is live right after kickoff, the second minute. Kenya are able to get onto the scoreboard, which is a good thing. They needed to start at a high tempo, and looking at it clearly, Simbas had a better exchange of words in the changing room over the half period. But all that came from a strong defense by the Simbas. It was a turnover from that tackle. He spilled the ball in Simbas half, and they were able to attack from their half. Asati taking the ball, playing it out to Ogeto. Ogeto offloading to Onyala, and Onyala dashing all the way in the 5 meter into the try box. That's a good start for Kenya Simbas early enough in the second half. Willie X.
Elijah, I was even late coming back from the second half and getting the action right smack when very good offload. There was a tackle, but by the time the tackle was happening, the ball had been offloaded. And going straight to Onyala, picked it up, used that wide, but the carry by Beldad Ogeto was fantastic. The carry by Ogeto was fantastic. Then he puts a try, and the one and only Darwin Mukitsa is able to extend it all the way to 32-14. There was a substitution. Thomas Okeo is in, and also Eugene Sifuna has joined in. Ball going to Sikuta, well collected. Sikuta. Very good stop by the Leopards, not allowing Dominic an opportunity. I feel like he was kicking the ball to right to where I am, but it goes slightly lower. Victor Duor indicates right off the 10, where the line out will be taken from. Elijah, Kenya Simbas come in strongly in the beginning of the second half. There was an infringement that misplaced the ball, and then they were able to recollect it, and while playing advantage, they were able to make a couple of turns, make a couple of runs, and being able to get a conversion. We're looking at Robbie Leibrandt with the line out for the Leopards.
Good line out, ball recovered at the tail end of the line out. Cupido with the ball out, short pass, right, good angle running by Andre Strutter. and he offloads it all the way to the wing, but the ball goes down and is recovered, and then opportunity for a counter here, but the defense, Tuta goes back and is able to arrest his opposing winger. The ball now just outside Leopards 22, and Hoffman looking for options. He elects to seek for territory, and the ball is straight out from his kick. Therefore, it will be returned right to the spot, to the margins of where he took the kick from. Assistant referee Victor Odor pointing to the spot where the kick was made, where we'll have a line out in favor of Kenya Simbas. A lot of handling errors evident from both teams. Simba have been able to capitalize on that. Spilled balls, loose balls to the ground, put Leopards back in. They're able to convert a try from those spilled balls by Simbas. But these are errors that should be rectified if both teams are able to gain many phases of play. Ball is out now to Thomas Okeyo, who's just come in. And Asati working hard to dig for the ball in that rack. Colson with a flat pass that put Onyala under pressure and he spilled the ball. Ref playing advantage now. Let's see what comes out of it. Darwin recovers it and he counters with very interesting sidestep, and he chips over, chip and chase, and the ball is recovered, and there is an supporting players, but the ball goes to ground and is recovered by Leopards. Seesaw of possession here, seesaw of possession, and the players must be feeling their lung-busting runs. Quito is able to put a grabber, recover it, and also put it back again, a chip ball into the Simbas 22, but the ball is knocked on. Ref is playing advantage to Simba. They should be able to recover from this one. And Colson going into the rack and looking out and sees a forward in Thomas Okeyo and doesn't pass to him. Puts an up and under behind the defense of Leopards. The ball is recovered. There is a good rack there. There are numbers out to the left if the ball is able to be played out. But Leopards are able to basketball pass to Sikuta. Sikuta hands off his man, goes into contact, and there is supporting players. The rack is contested because the numbers by Simbas are fewer, but Asati is able to recover the ball quite quickly. Good sidestep by Nyambua, goes in, Asati clears the ball from the rack, ball is out to Onyala. There are numbers outside, straight running and passing should be it, but he passes it out and the ref calls no advantage.
Very good flow of the ball by the Leopards, but Paul Mente able to indicate that there was a high tackle right there. Some moment of relief for the Simbas, who were on a receiving end for a few seconds, and then they had a good onslaught which they would have used well had the carrier, one John Okoth, offloaded a very simple pass. Elijah, as Dominic opting to kick, doesn't go into touch. It's well recovered. Good tackle after tackle after tackle by both. Colson coming in quick there from the University of Exeter. The attempt to go for a kick into the try box, but they were not successful. Elijah, whose ball is it? They took advantage. It's a Leopards ball, so they're just taking advantage. They're playing. The referee was playing advantage. Is it a 22 drop off? It's a 22. Oh, I thought they were being smart with their play. Fantastic. Dominic taking lead right there. His kicks, but that was a very good tackle right from him as we go into very good kick, and it's inside. Collected by Rudolf Hoffman. Very good step by Hoffman. And there's an overlap right there. Leopards, the Simbas are able to get some good recovery, good flow. Centers are cancelling out each other. Very good offload by Shiwin Cupido. Tackle is right there coming. Hey, was able to get away from that. A very good tackle right there by Ephraim Odur. Cupido, very good offload. Very good tackle right there by Vincent Onyala. Cupido offloads the ball. Very well collected right there. I'm not sure why Mente did not call that as a high tackle, because one Nyambua, very complete utility player right there. Asati, well collected there. And the ball goes into touch. Ball goes into touch. I'm expecting Eugene Sifuna to take lead into this line out. But is it Sifuna the player who's down? No. It's the one and only El Presidente Martin Owila coming in, replacing the one and only Dan Sikuta. Communication needs to...
They are located in Kikuyu. They do have two flagship projects. The Old Lake Villas Kikuyu, the Leons.
Substitutions going on right now. There is a confusion on the Kenyan technical bench. George Nyambua going out for a blood bin. He got a cut on his right side of the head. So Nyambua stepped out for a blood bin, and in comes Owila to cover that. Short ball to Nyambua. No, that's not Nyambua. Short ball played, but well tackled by Leopards. Colson looking at his options, and he gets hammered even as he slips while trying to step back in. Ball is raised high by Asati and recovered by Hoffman, who steps right, steps left, but is arrested. And then there is a chase there by Ashiundu, loses his man. Ball is contested and won by Darwin. That's a counter in the rack. Kenya Simbas in possession. Asati looks behind, there is no man covering, and Darwin is up chasing it. The wicked bounce of the ball results in a line out for Simbas in Leopards 22.
Elijah, let's not forget, they call it an oval ball for a reason. If it was round, we'll be complaining, where did it hit a rock, or where was there a hole in the pitch for it to turn into any direction? Right now, the Kenya 15s, the Simbas, taking a very good lead in this fixture. The scores, for those who are joining us, the scores are 32-14 for the Simbas. If or when the Simbas are able to maintain this will be their second win, having only won one against the Border Bulldogs, who stand last in the log. With this win, the Simbas will be able to climb up a place, if I'm not wrong, Elijah.
Yes, Simbas playing for much more than just experience. They are also looking for a good closing for this 10-log Currie Cup. They're playing for pride. Of course, the win is of the league is out of their hands by now, but a lot of experience being gathered in participating in this first division Currie Cup. Ball is raised high, received by Asati. He attacks to his right, steps, and goes into contact. He's tackled well, spinned over into touch, and goes out with the ball. Therefore, ball goes to Leopards. It's a line out for Leopards. Leopards have also ringed in the changes. brought in number 21, Eugene Harry, for the deceptive Cupido. And I think what they'll be looking to do, what they're aiming to do, is they will try and ensure that they play in Kenya's territory so that they can be able to capitalize on any mistakes. So far, they have been pinned in their half, even as they run through the Kenyan defense there. Kenyan defense has been good, and they have held their own against the Leopards. There's an infringement in that rack. Thomas Okeo went for the ball, but the ref penalized him for hands in the rack because the rack had already been set. So they elect to go for territory and try and put Kenya under pressure in a half. My apologies, even the substitutions were quite a flurry of them. So Cupido is still in at number 9. We'll try and get the numbers for those who came in, especially at the wing, number 23.
Going into this line out for Leopards, we have Robbie Lebrand taking lead into the ball into the line out. Well collected. They elect to go for a maul. And referee has already signaled for advantage, so I usually feel that if the referee signals for that, don't allow them any more space. Advantage one more time, and the advantage has been called. So I'm looking at Elijah, a situation whereby the Leopards would be electing to go for points, but from the position I'm looking at, Shawin Cupido is electing to go for a line out. And the kick was good, and from where Constant Cup, the assistant referee, is indicated they are very close. Is slightly just off the 5-yard, so this is time for them to take lead. Daniel Sikuta leaves the playing field. Daniel Sikuta, Nyambua, who had stepped out for blood bin, is back in, as we have slightly around 30 minutes to play for the remainder of this fixture. Cupido, good offload. A very good carry, yes, and there was no stopping. There was no stopping carry of that ball. And Leopards are looking on how well they can capitalize as they've reduced, as it stands, the scores are 32-19. Very good carry, gets into contact, but he knew he had better body mass compared to the tackler who was going after him, Elijah. What do the Leopards need to adjust to try and make a comeback, and what do the Simbas need to do to ensure they get the second win in the Currie Cup First Division?
Leopards, good choice from that penalty. They took a good choice. Remember, they are playing at a high altitude, and as the half wears on, they will see them struggling with the altitude. But that is an extra 2 points to bring the scores to Simbas 32, Leopards 21. As I was saying, that was a good option. They were counting on their mauls, they were counting on their forwards. That close to the try line, it is always hard to tackle and to stop men, and also not risk penalties. So that was a good call. Again, they're also chasing 18 points on the scoreboard. There was no need to go for 3 points in the form of a penalty. They had to look for the maximum 7 points, even this early in the game.
Thank you very much, Elijah. And Dominic Coulson gets us going. And from the reaction, I'm guessing it's a line out for the Leopards. They elect to go for a quick line out, and they have There's a forward pass, right smack into their 22, and advantage goes back to the Simbas. Simbas having a scrum down right inside the 22 of the Leopards. Ball goes into the hands of Samuel Asati. He may look not as well built as the other players in the team, but his position as scrum half is well covered and he executes it very well under the pupillage. Polodera, this is a team that has been in South Africa for the last 2 months, harnessing their skills, looking forward into the Rugby Afrique fixtures in France from the 2nd of July. Very good offload right there. Dominic with the ball, and it's a good line out. And the one and only Derek. No. That's Beldado Ghetto. Beldado Ghetto ensures that the celebration that must have been felt in South Africa has just been converted one more time. Ghetto taking the scores to 37-21 with 25 minutes to play. Darwin Mokitsa with looking at how well to add 2 more points, and looking on is Paul Mete, the center referee. Elijah going into the last 25. What do you have? Last 15.
Kenya Simbas doing the right things, looking at how they are able to turn over the ball, how they are able to attack, use the full width of the pitch, and also play, straight running. They have been able to put Leopards on the at a lot of pressure. Leopards currently trying to see how they can recover, but it's becoming a tall order, even as the points pile up. Darwin Mukiza misses with that kick. The ball drifts to the right of the uprights, and the scores remain 37-21. Leopards are a very proud side. I'm sure we are not having the last of it yet, and we look to see what they can unleash even in the remaining minutes of this game. Simbas with their tails up, they should be able to, if they're able to play in Leopards territory, then they'll give Leopards less opportunities to take advantage of, as the ball is raised up into Simbas half, but there are proper recovery of the ball, proper rack set there as they look to exit. Asati slowly and surely dragging the ball to the back end of the rack, raises it high into Leopards territory, but they play it out. Risky pass over the heads of Onyala, and the defenders are attacking, and Leopards are attacking. Good strong carry by Elank, but he loses the ball in that tackle. He did like 40 meters. Good back row play. That's what you want to see from a back row, mixing up things together with the backs, and he's been able to gain enough yardage for his team. They're in the right territory, right in Simba's half.
If you're joining us, thank you first and foremost, Elijah Toili. If you're joining us, this fixture, the Kenya Simbas have a lead of 37 going against the Leopards. Leopards are the current champions, winners of the last year's CURRIE Cup First Division in South Africa. This is the first fixture being played outside of South Africa. Simbas, who are lying 9th on the log, get to, as it stands, get to maintain this, and they'll be able to get their second win of this fixture. Simbas. Cupido holding onto the ball, and it's a quick start, and they've knocked the ball, and it's a Simbas ball. It's a Simbas ball, straight into contact, and straight collection by the Simbas. So this is a scrum. Elijah, there was an infringement by the Simbas, and there was a half penalty presented there by the center referee going into the previous scrum. Don't forget it was a Simbas scrum. Going into this, Elijah, what should the Simbas do into this current scrum off? So this is scrum.
Simbas need a sure exit. The last like 3-4 minutes they have been in their half, and that is not a position they want to play. They have played in the right places in the good parts of this game, so they should get a clear ball from the base of that scrum, and it's a strong carry. The ref calls it for an infringement in the rack in that scrum down. I think he calls in the tight head prop for angling in. That's Ephraim for angling in, and the Leopards decide to again look to utilize their attacking weapon in the shape of a mole.
Elijah, we are now getting into the second half of the second half, the last 20 minutes of this fixture. As we look ahead, we have Robbie Lebrant releasing this line out. And the mall is collapsed. So is it a turnover? Nope. They've elected to go right another mall. Leopards. I'm really awaiting to see the call, but I'm looking at the ball being in the hands of Shawin Cupido. I'm sure it's a Leopards possession. I believe we're going straight into another scrum. The Simbas have not been smart with their last two scrums. What do they require to do going into this one? I believe also the Leopards have done a substitution, because I'm not seeing Hoffman. The one and only Joseph Odero joins in, and you can hear some cheers, and are waiting to see who's leaving the field of play. I believe it's Ephraim Odora from Cabras. So for them it's a club on club, also showing you the depth that is at Cabras Rugby Club. Elijah, I believe we're on a medical timeout, and from where I'm seated I can overhear Paul Odera informing his charges to be better composed going into this scrum. The ball is in the hands of Shawin Cupido. The Leopards are looking to pounce on this, and from where I'm seated, I'm sure they're not looking at just pouncing. They're looking to pounce and to get a score. So Cupido with the opportunity to put the ball into the scrum, and it's in. Simbas are able to hold. Cupido releasing, and he was tackled right there. Simbas were able to push them backwards. Right now, it's right over the 22, and this was slightly a scare because it was right smack into the 5. As you can look at Cupido, very good offload. Whoa! Very, very, very big hit by Anami. Simbas are doing their best, and he did not release the ball. He decided to run without releasing the ball, and it's an infringement. Some sigh of relief, you can hear it from across this grounds, and it's an opportunity for Dominic to go for touch, and he should ensure he goes for touch. Elijah.
Kenya Simbas have weathered that storm. It was very important for them to do that. Their defensive structure has remained sound, and they have been able to do that. Dominic just barely gets touch, and Simbas are out of their half, which is what they needed to do, and they have an opportunity to even attack from this point. They were under the pump for many minutes in their 5-yard, but from that scrum down, Leopards lost a lot of territory, went back outside the Simbas 22, and then in the contest of that rack, they did it illegally. There was an infringement, and the ref turned the ball over to Simbas for a penalty. Now Simbas have an opportunity to attack.
George Nyambua calling in his troops, and as you can see, Jean Sifuna with the line out. He goes high and it's well collected, and the Simbas electing to go for a maul. I'm not sure for how long they'll wish to push it, but it's making not much headway. You can see Asati is right here awaiting just to receive and release all the way to Onyala, who's able to. Don't forgetting Onyala has played for the Kenya Sevens. Very good line break right there by Simbas. There is no advantage, they strip the ball. I'm not sure whether that was well legal, but the Leopards play the advantage all the way into touch, and the ball taken back by the Simbas. I can notice that there is a Simba that is down. If we're able to, there's a substitution, and the one and only Cabras SHUJAA, very good player, Brian Tanga. I believe he's doing a replacement for the one and only Samuel Asati, who looks to be down. Referee, I'm not sure whether the game is still on play or there's two players who are down. Andrew Simiu has gotten up and is back on his feet. The person who's still on the ground is Samuel Asati. Referee informing that we're on a medical timeout. Elijah, Simbas were nearly caught napping. As I've realized, those two players who were on the ground, Asati and Anthony Simiu, but they were able to weather the storm. So now going into the last 15 minutes, what do we expect? How do we handle this one?
We have to give it to Simbas back three. They have shown that they're able to conduct a very good scramble defense, including Onyala. Many are the times that Leopard have broken through, and you will think they will be able to close the deal and score the try, but the cover defense has been able to get them and stop the game. Line out ball, well recovered by Simbas. Strong carry there by Nyambua, still in the 22, and now they should set for an exit. It's being contested by the Leopards, making it very messy, but Colson has a good ball and raises the ball into Leopards half, recovered there and carried by Vanikek. Strong carry, good running, goes into Simbas half. The ball is out and carry in the middle of the field. Cupido with good passes, but is let down by the forwards who knock on the ball, and Simba electing to play through Tanga, who's just come in, taking the advantage. And a shot, he attacks the base of the rack. That's Darwin, attacks the base of the rack, but gets held up. He hits deck, so the ball should be able to leave from that point. Good carry again by Nyambua. That ball will be contested, pops out to Tanga. There are numbers out here, but the ball has been intercepted in that attempted pass by Colson, and they're chasing him down, but they won't get him. They will not get to Kenan Twig, and Kenan Twig scores right under the sticks, when Kenya had numbers outside, when they were attacking, and it is a quick conversion, a drop kick actually. Leopards are chasing the game, and Simbas should be careful here, because scores right now stand at Simbas 37, Leopards 28. Leopards 28. This is going to be a good last 10 minutes, or so, as we look at what Simbas are able to do.
Dominic needs just to get his head back into the game. Small blunder, and how well do we manage this one? So Simbas get into the game, and so very good. No, it was straight into the chest. There's an overlap right here. I'm not sure about that. I wish the referee had seen that. A very good flow by the Leopards, who are chasing the game, and they are looking on how well Simbas need to call out on this. There's a couple of times that are being caught. There's a knock. An infringement on the Oh! Eugene Sifuna with a try! Oh! Right after the Leopards had taken advantage of an infringement by the Simbas. The Simbas take advantage of a miss pass, which was a knock-on. But then, since they were the ones collecting the ball, they're playing advantage by Paul Mente. And ladies and gentlemen, the Simbas, I'm impressed looking at Eugene Sifuna, who replaced Teddy Akala, who was also a very good career in the first half of the game. Elijah, Simbas are being impressive, even at moments when the crowd is feeling as if we're losing this game. So Elijah, how do we take this one? Darwin Mokitsa going for this conversion. How do we proceed with the last 8 minutes of this fixture?
We keep doing, it's simple, we keep doing what we're doing. Because the bench has certainly shown that they are able to stand up and get counted, even in this game. And that's what scoreboard pressure does to any team. When you're chasing a game, you tend to do all that you can. And Leopards, in this case, were moving the ball from one side of the pitch to the other, trying to look for the spaces. And there's always a risk with that if there is a dropped ball and your man are all attacking, then you will be exposed. And that's what happened. Darwin Shua with the conversion and brings the score to Leopards 28, Simbas 44. Every time Leopards think they are back into the game, Simbas strike by punishing their mistakes and stretching the lead further, making it a tall order, honestly, right now for Leopards to come back into this game.
The kickoff task has been converted back to Shiwin Cupido, who is going for well collected by Davis Chenge. Nyambua, very complete utility for Cabras, from the Cabras SHUJAA. Martin Owila. There is an infringement by the Simbas, and yet the possession was ours. So Leopards take back the ball. I'm looking at Shawin Cupido going for touch. And ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Matoka has replaced the smiling assassin, Darwin Mokitsa, who has really delivered a lot of points for the Simbas this afternoon. With less than 10 minutes to go, this fixture the difference of 16 points for the Simbas requires more than 2 converted tries for the Leopards to take charge. Leopards were sitting 7th on the log, are looking at how well they can be able to capture 2 of their remaining fixtures for them to make into the playoffs, not forgetting that they are the defending champions of this CURRIE Cup Division 1 tournament. And there was a very good carry right there. Cupido offloading, and the Simbas are able to hold. An overlap is called onto this other end. So we're looking at how well they can secure it. Cupido, very good offload. Very good offload. And try time. Second time. The Leopards are using the same player to take it over the whitewash, the one and only Saint-Pierre Suiguez, and they're looking to add 2 more points to it, and it's successful. So from 16 points to 9 points. Simbas with an opportunity to ensure that this game is put into bed. They require to secure their position. So how well can they stop the Leopards from scoring 10 points, and how well can the Leopards stop the Simbas from going? Dominic Colson kicking it deep into the 22, picked up right there by Pioneer Van Nierkerk, and very good flow right there. Oh, very good tackle, and he's lost the ball forward. Lost the ball forward. Playing advantage. Matoka. Referee, was there really an advantage, or do we go back into? So the ball goes back to the Leopards. There's a Leopards player. There's a Leopards player who's on the ground. Is the one and only Shawin Cupido, and the medical team is right there attending to him. I believe we're on a medical timeout. A medical timeout. There's also a Kenyan player whose legs have been, I think, are being stretched, but Elijah, I'm more concerned about Cupido as I'm looking at the medical team trying to attend to him. I hope everything is okay. I can see his hands are moving. I believe he's in a good space. Elijah.
Cupido has been a shining star for the Leopards, controlling matters at the base of the racks, quick balls, enabling them to continue attacking. He actually gave a very fancy inside pass to his forward, who scored off the last score that Leopards had. So he's a very instrumental player for the Leopards if they are to come back into this game. Apparently we called it too early. This now has become a 9-point game, and Leopards are very much still in it. Looking at the score and looking at the time, Simbas must develop their game, must develop their defense to ensure that they do not concede any more points. But what Leopards have been able to do very well is utilize their forwards in the 10 meters to the try line. There have been a number of missed tackles throughout the game around that area, and Simbas need to work on that. The one-on-one tackles, however huge the Leopard forwards might be, they have to put in the shoulder time and time again. Long passage, long break here as the medics worked on various players, but we are getting back. The referee signals for the game to continue and the clock to continue running down. Even as there is a feed here for the Leopards. The scrum is messy. Is it a turnover? We are not able to tell. Yes, it is a turnover. Simbas have recovered it. Colson weighs his option, playing dangerously in the wrong places. He should have taken that kick, and now they have been pinned just outside their 22. as the hooter, I think the hooter sounds, time is almost up. Time should be up. Simbas should look to kick this ball out. Of course, they have to tap it and then kick it out so that the game can be over, which is what I think Colson is trying to look for, the shortest distance to the touch, and goes to his right. Why has he kicked it out straight? I think he's not aware of the time, or probably the referee is using his own time, because by our clocks, the time should be up by now. Either way, we are going for a line out in favor of Simbas. Let's see what option they will take here, being in their own half. Matoka has come in, replaced Darwin, done some few good runs, and it goes to show the strength of the bench. Even as the ball goes up and Kenya recovers it, they have been pretty sure with their own lineouts throughout their own game, and they have been able to recover their own lineouts. Simba giving Leopards a dose of their own medicine. It's the first time we see them in this game applying pressure through the maul. That is 10 meters gained from that maul, and Simba choosing to play some extra minutes. Good handoff, good carry. The ball is available. There are numbers, but the ball has been tapped by a Leopards player. It's still available. Tanga decides to run it, plays it back in, and Simba saying they must finish with a flurry here. They must finish with some more points on the board. The ball is out to a Wheeler, gives it back in, and the rack is set, almost turned over by Leopards, and it is a slow rack, and everyone is calling for the ball to be kicked out. But there's a shot and ball by Thomas Okeyo, and he's all the way. He's going all the way. No one will stop him, and that's what they were playing for. That's what Kenya were playing for. That's what they wanted to show the crowd, that even though we are able to kick the ball out to stop the game, we will get some more points on the board. Very positive game, very positive outcome, and that is what we all look for. That's all we all look forward to, when players seize the moment and say, this is ours. Willie Wex.
Elijah, that was amazing. That was amazing. A whole center making a very good run straight off the bench, extending the Simbas lead from where I'm seated. I can see the smiles on Paul Odera's hands, and as he's passing congratulatory remarks from the two technical benches. Elijah, this was a very good fixture by the Simbas, as you have the one and only Andrew Matoka trying to get the last points into this fixture. It's been a great afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and not forgetting that Matoka gets it right. Full-time scores, Kenya Simbas 51 and the Leopards 35. You ask me if these fixtures of the CURRIE First Divisions were all played here. Considering this were the defending champions, I believe we'll be giving every team a run of their money by the Kenya Simbas. Next week, the Kenya Simbas play the Eastern Province Elephants, who stand second in the log. But from this fixture and all the encouragement they've gotten from the fans, Elijah, I'm expecting a cracker of a match. This was Willie Wex, and my colleague Elijah will give his closing remarks as we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, Willie Wex, it was a good outing, good afternoon, good show from Simbas. The coach was right. He said from the earlier fixtures, he was trying his combinations from the earlier 7 fixtures. And he said in these last 2 fixtures, he will put his best team forward. And we have seen what is the best team that Kenya has to offer, is able to do. And therefore, we look forward to next week with a lot of anticipation, with a lot of excitement. Thank you also to Leopards for flying all the way to Nairobi to honor this fixture, being the first CURRIE Cup fixture that has been played outside South Africa. See you next weekend as we sign out.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, asanteni sana kwa kocha. See you next weekend. Same time, same place. All right, we proceed for what you've all been waiting for, the after party of the 2022 CURRIE Cup. corporate sponsors, led by the front
Camera 3, zoom in for my fans. Beauty, bana Kerafa. What happened? Stand by 3. 3 on air, nice one. Camera 2, stand by 2. 2 on air. Stand by 1. Acha kule hao bana. Camera 3 hold. 3 on air. Nice one 3. Stand by 2. Nice one 2. Nice one 2 on air. And video